Hi everyone, I'm Leanne and I'm here to what platforms do Greenpeace use? What are their key communication channels? Greenpeace communication strategies have them leaving a digital footprint in the form of their main website, plus being active contributors on social media platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram, and also LinkedIn. These websites and these platforms send them back to that main website page where they can really engage with their audience. So who is their audience? The audience for Greenpeace is a largely diverse group as they have many causes and one that touches every human, animal and living thing on this planet. I'm quoted from their website, our commitment to diversity and inclusion. So as we mentioned, Greenpeace have a variety of social media platforms that lead back to their website. We did a Google search and had a look at their competitors, and we had a look at the market and where they were also sharing their information and where they had that online presence. So we assessed the Australian Conservation Foundation, the Rainforest Alliance, Coral Reef Alliance, the Nature Conservancy, and World Wildlife. So a variety of different size organizations here to evaluate and just see how they are going about their marketing and communication strategy. You'll see on this table here that they're all highly prominent on an online presence. They've got Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, Pinterest, and Instagram. So this is most likely why Greenpeace have to be so prominent on their social media platforms, is to just keep up with their competitors and stay ahead of the game. Took those same competitors and had a look at what their main messages were and what their bios read. And then I was able to compare this to the Greenpeace about pages and bios. You'll see on this slide here that we have the Greenpeace Facebook About Us page and also just on their website. Just a little snippet there. Greenpeace will never stop fighting for a greener, healthier world of our oceans, forests, food, climate and democracy, no matter what forces stand in our way. This seems to be a common message across all of their platforms. You'll see that above there on their story. And this also is on their Twitter account, their LinkedIn account, all of their social media platforms. This message stands out and is made prominent. When we look at the count of words, the regular Twitter count of words was in the mid-20s, which Greenpeace also managed to reach that. And you'll see on their Facebook, they do have a shortened version. The usual word counts between 100 and 150. They easily come into this and get a clear message across. You'll see that they've got a couple of options there to see a little bit more data under the company overview. You can click on see more if an audience member wanted to see a little bit more, and under the general information also. And it has all their links to their other social media sites, how to contact them, and down the bottom there some of their other organisations. A very useful and important part of social media is the imagery. The best place for us to find this was on Instagram. So having a look at Greenpeace and then taking a look again at those 5 competitors, you can see that the imagery is quite similar. There is imagery of some of their causes, quite prominently showing what they are. They use little animal photos. There's some of people, but not too many, and the environment. So these are all causes that these companies, these non-profit companies, are trying to protect. And they have a really clean imagery, good photography, striking words, and they have a bit of a call for action. Also So we mentioned the importance of video and how popular it seemed to be within the social media platforms. They definitely created more engagement with the audience. There was a lot more likes, comments and shares. Those comments were better quality comments, ones that Greenpeace or the other competitors could then reply to and engage further with their audience. Attached to this slide here, there is a video. This one tells a story of the protests and the action that's going on for this cause. It's important that and a useful tool for Greenpeace to use these videos and draw on the emotions of their audience. It was discussed in module 10 of our assignment that the importance of using a compelling story, one that really draws on that emotion and then has a beginning, a middle and an end. So that end could be a call to action. So once those emotions are worked on and people are really engaged in the content, there's not really a selling to do. They start to feel the emotion of the story. They engage fully in it, and they want to start to help some of these causes quite naturally. So that call to action there is really not a selling, it's a this is what you can do to help, and it's a much softer sell and a way of getting that end result. So overall, Greenpeace have, in comparison to their competitors, quite a strong engagement with their audience. They have a great website. The website has all the important issues and their call to action, such as making donations or signing petitions, at the top of their page. And we can scroll down the page to see some more of their causes and find out more detail. But it's very simple, uses a lot of imagery, and is quite engaging in that way. There's a consistent message across all of their social platforms. So as we spoke earlier, their key messages are displayed again at the top. Their Facebook pages have all their most recent upcoming events, a great use of video at the top of most of their key areas. This is really engaging. If a person wants to watch the video, they may then read up about it later underneath with more detail on a blog or a news feed. There's a good use of different types of media, including text, images and video to present all key messages. And the key messages are clear and concise. The videos, as we just saw on the previous slide, show good use of storytelling that's compelling, draws on the emotion of its audiences and has a call to action. This gives the audience an opportunity to help the cause that they care about. It engages them into the story and then makes them want to do something about it. The other thing that was noted about Greenpeace is they had an excellent engagement with the community. They have lots of followers on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube and Twitter. And they commonly and very regularly respond to any comments on posts. They're quite quick to do that and have a very positive engagement with their audience. There wasn't much in the way of improvements for this team. They seem to be all over all platforms. They know how they need to compete against their competitors in the industry, and they had their messages were compelling and were able to engage with their audience as well. So what were some of the commendations about this entity, Greenpeace, and some of their successful practices? Definitely their website. The website had the most important issues and their call to action at the top of the page. This was important to get the message across. It had the donate here and the consistency of their messages across all social platforms. They were in an engaging manner and very similar to their competitors. So we're able to compete with them and stay in the market. So there's a good use of different types of media, including text, images, and video to present key messages, and the key messages were clear and concise. So a little quote here from Seth Gunther. He says that persuasive storytelling for nonprofits, to have the ability to move an audience, to take action to motivate them to do willingly what you ask them, is to be persuasive. Combine this with storytelling and multimedia, and the result is persuasive multimedia storytelling. Many nonprofits and corporations are making such storytelling part of their communication strategy for this purpose, to inspire their followers to take action. So I think that Greenpeace do this very well. Their storytelling is compelling, just as we saw in the previous video. It draws on the emotions of the audience and has a call to action, giving the audience the opportunity to help a cause that they care about. The next point was their calls to action. They were always most prominent at the top of even their Instagram page. They were at the top of their website, their Facebook. Immediately you could go straight there and engage that way if you were part of the audience. And then the final piece is engaging with the community. So on their Facebook page, they have over almost 450,000 people liking and following their webpage. It is evident that compared to their competitors, they are more responsive. If you were to go on their Facebook page, you would see they've got a very responsive to messages comments on there, returning comments to posts on social media platforms, and having a huge following and built up community to engage with. So they're doing really well in that aspect. There really are no recommendations after doing this research to make, as they're presenting just a consistent message across platforms in incredible ways, with the use of emotional and compelling stories on a regular basis, backed up with the self-produced content, and also sharing informative content in the form of news, blogs, and videos. Great choices of imagery, video, and text.